Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Betting Insights. I'm Tingin to be alongside Sergio, of course. Again, Sergio, welcome.
Hey everybody, hey Tim, what's up?
Yes, welcome back. As you know, we are giving out betting tips for 5 different club competitions across Europe: Serie A, La Liga, Premier League, Eredivisie, and the Bundesliga. Make sure to smash the like button if you're new to the show. Also, be sure to subscribe. Now, last week we're coming off a very good week, way over 500 on all our picks, and we will be looking to build on that. So let's get started with this weekend's picks. This weekend we are starting with the Bundesliga, and the first game on the schedule is Augsburg hosting Bochum. Augsburg wins set at 1.78, Bochum wins set at 4.75. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, I don't really have a bet in this game. Both of these teams are actually awful. Neither can score, really. Neither can really defend. So maybe only looking at the over 2.5. But other than that, I'm just staying away from this game. Sergio, are you doing something?
Yeah, I'm also staying away from this game. Yeah, the best option is maybe to go for a draw because I think it will be a draw, but I'm also staying away.
Yeah, I don't understand why Augsburg is favored by that much. I guess they're playing at home. Bochum only has 2 points. But if you look at the term in terms of scoring goals, Bochum scored 10 goals, Augsburg 13. So not really that much to separate them in terms of offense. Now, defense may make the difference. Bochum has allowed 32 goals, Augsburg 23, but neither can really defend. So that's why I say either over 2.5 or nothing for me. Probably nothing. So let's get to the next game. Next game, Union Berlin hosting Leverkusen. Union wins set at 4.9. Leverkusen wins set at 1.77. Line for total goal set at over 2.5. Now, this is a game I like and actually one of my favorite bets for the weekend. Leverkusen to win. I also like the over 2.5 because I think Union playing at home, they will score. They haven't scored in 4 straight games. Now, Leverkusen had a bit of a rough stretch, but now 10 goals scored over the last 2 games. So it seems like they have found their mojo again. So I believe they will score here and they will score a lot. Let's say at least more than once. And I don't believe Union could score more than once in this game. Sergio, are you doing something?
It hasn't been going straightforward for Leverkusen in the Bundesliga. Yeah, the Champions League against Salzburg. Yes, I understand. Salzburg not that of a good team in the Champions League. So in Union, I don't think it will be that easy, but a win for them is really necessary. So I agree. I will also go with Leverkusen, but it won't be an easy game. So I don't think there will be a lot of goals scored. Maybe two, but not more than that.
Two by Leverkusen or like two total for the game?
Yeah. Two by Leverkusen. I think that yes. Yeah, they'll win, but not by much.
All right. I don't think it will be that easy, but I do believe they will score. Like I said, 10 goals over the last 2 games, and I know Salzburg is not a great team. Previously, Heidenheim, also not a great team, but it's not like Union is that much better than Heidenheim. Like Union defends better. They've only allowed 9 goals, so allow less than a goal a game. But they also have trouble scoring. So if you want to beat Leverkusen, you usually have to score at least more than once. So. Leverkusen, pretty easy pick for me. Give me Leverkusen, best bet. All right. Next game, Leipzig hosting Wolfsburg. Leipzig wins set at 1.72. Wolfsburg wins set at 5. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, last week I was all over Leipzig. Um, Kind of a disappointing result, losing 4-3 against Hoffenheim. Um, they should have won that game, right? I know shoulda, woulda, coulda, but still, they should have won that game. Midweek, go on the road against Inter. Actually, no shame in losing that game. But now 5 straight games without a win. You return home. Is actually a good spot to pick up a win again after 5 games. So give me Leipzig in this game. What are you doing?
Yes, I agree. I'm also going for Leipzig. If you only have Bayern, Leverkusen, and Leipzig for a win, you already have a lot of 306. I think that these two teams are sure going to win this weekend. So yeah, I don't know. Do what you want, but that's really interesting.
Yeah, listen, man, I fully agree with you. Leipzig, second favorite bet of the weekend. So, obviously, I'm betting singles, but I will also be looking to parlay them because, like you said, like these are two teams that just have to win this weekend. Leipzig five straight games without a win. Leverkusen back-to-back wins, but still they can afford to drop points if they want to keep pace with Bayern Munich. So, this is pretty much a must-win for both teams. Um, I will also parlay both teams. All right. Next up, Freiburg hosting Gladbach. Freiburg wins set at 1.98. Gladbach wins set at 3.8. Line for Turgo set at 2.5. Now, this is a game where I'm looking at the over 2.5. Freiburg, their favorite, kind of heavily. But still close to two, so not that heavily favored. Uh, but I don't understand why. Like Freiburg, I don't think there's a lot to separate these two teams if you look at them play, and also in the standings, not a lot to separate them. Gladbach slightly better. Gladbach has issues on the road, and that's not only this season, that's been like the last 3, 4, 5 seasons. So maybe that's one reason to favor Freiburg in this spot. But Freiburg at home, I know they've only lost one game, but not really impressive victories. A 0-0 draw against Mainz in the last home game, and then they won against Augsburg, one of the teams at the bottom. Lost against St. Pauli and won against Bochum, also one of the teams at the bottom. So I don't really know what their home form is like and if they have enough to pull this one out. So not taking Freiburg for a win, just taking the over 2.5. Sergio, what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm leaning more towards Gladbach to win this one. Like you said, I don't understand why Freiburg is almost heavily favored this game. So I am Mönchengladbach. I think definitely a team with uh, more experience and maybe this game. Their away form won't play too big of a role. So I'm uh, I'm just going for Gladbach.
Yeah, I'll stick with the over 2.5 because if Gladbach were to win, um, obviously, I think they would have to score more than once. Freiburg being at home should get a goal here. Gladbach doesn't have like the defense to shut down an opponent, especially on the road. So I'll just stick with the over 2.5. Not great value, but 1.6. Sticky good value. I'll stick with that. All right. Next up, Werder Bremen hosting Stuttgart. Werder Bremen wins set at 3.1. Stuttgart wins set at 2.25. Line for goal set at 3.5. Now, I don't know where Stuttgart is at. One win in the last 5 games. So, not in the best form. Werder Bremen, 2 win in the last 5 games. So, form not that much better. One thing I still like about Stuttgart, they've scored 21 goals in 11 games. So, they can score, averaging almost 2 goals a game. Now they have had some trouble over the last 5 games, but still against a team like Werder Bremen that has allowed 2 goals a game, I believe Stuttgart can score in this game. So I'll take Stuttgart over 1.5 goals. That's my play here. I don't like the over 3.5. I may buy it down to over 2.5. But then you get an odd like 1.5. Not great value, but I believe the over 2.5 should hit. Not sure about the over 3.5. So either I go with Stuttgart over 1.5 goals, or I buy the 3.5 goals down to over 2.5 and pick that one. Sergio, are you doing something here?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I would just go for the same Stuttgart over 1.5. Yeah, this game, like you said, Stuttgart not that great the last 6 games. So yeah, and now an away game at Bremen. So yeah, I'm not that confident also about Stuttgart. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I would just go and especially the game against Rudist Belgrado. Yeah, it was yeah, terrible actually. I actually thought they were gonna win after scoring that early. I thought, okay, it's gonna be, like a Bayer Leverkusen game against Salzburg, but yeah, but still, they lost 5-1. So I think that damaged their confidence a little bit. So
Yeah.
away at Bremen is going to be a difficult game for Stuttgart.
I agree with you. So, like I said, I don't like the over 3.5, but given that the over 3.5 also might hit in this game, but if you buy it down to over 2.5, that's an easy pick. Low value, but easy pick for me. All right. Next up, Borussia Dortmund hosting Bayern Munich. I want to say the game of the weekend, but we also have Liverpool City. Nonetheless, Dortmund wins set at 4.9, Munich wins set at 1.67, line for total goals set at 3.5. Now, Bayern, seven straight wins and seven straight games without conceding a goal. That's crazy. I know. So I know playing
That's
at
good. That's good. That's very good, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So playing at Dortmund is a tough out because Dortmund has not lost at home yet this season. All wins. So something's got to give in this game. With the form Bayern is in, man, it's really tough to go against them. But I like the over 3.5 goals in this game. I think we should see plenty goals here. Dortmund averaging 2 goals a game and Bayern over 3 goals a game. I don't think either team will really just sit back and watch. So both teams will really try to attack. I can see the over 3.5 goals in this game. What are you doing here?
Um, I don't think Bayern München is, that untouchable. Um, unlike Liverpool. I think Bayern still has a little, weakness because um, the games they won, against PSG, St. Pauli, just one goal scored. So
And
I
also
think
Benfica.
Dortmund is going to be a real challenge for them. So I think over 3.5 is possible here. I'm not going for a straight Bayern München win. Yeah, I don't. I think it's going to be difficult this game. So I would. I'd rather just go for the over 3.5 here. This is a
Yeah.
game I would try that.
Yeah, I agree fully with you. They've won seven straight. Now, not allowing a goal is impressive. But if you look at the way they're playing, they seem a little bit vulnerable. I
Yeah.
agree with you there. So, playing at Dortmund will be a real challenge, a good test, and like I said, Dortmund won every home game, so this would be maybe their biggest challenge by far. Maybe aside from the Barcelona game, which they lost. So, and speaking of the Barcelona game, you saw the weaknesses in that game, right? And now I don't know if Dortmund has the coach and the horses to exploit the weakness like Barcelona did, but Dortmund should have enough to challenge them and score goals here. So I agree with you. Let's take the over 2.5.
Yeah, but this game is definitely a game to watch this weekend.
Yeah, I agree. All right, next up, Mainz hosting Hoffenheim. Mainz wins set at 2.1. Hoffenheim wins set at 3.5. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, in this game, it's either Mainz for me or nothing. Hoffenheim on the road is just awful. They have not scored in 3 straight games. Also got beat by Braga 3-0 in the Europa League. So I don't really trust Hoffenheim, but that's not like I trust Mainz that much. So not really a pick for me in this game. It's just a lean towards Mainz. But like I said, either Mainz or nothing. Are you doing something here?
They won against Dortmund, against Holstein Kiel. 6 goals scored. That game conceded one. So yeah, I
Yeah, but
against
Dortmund.
Hoffenheim.
Listen, I in that game, I kind of begged you not to take Dortmund on the road. You did anyway.
Yeah.
I know Mainz won that game, but let me defend you a little bit. Dortmund received a red card after like 27 minutes, so that kind of inflated the results. So it was a win, good win, but it's not like the world beaters at this point.
Yeah, but I mean, against Hoffenheim at home, I agree with you in this one. I think they should just back this one.
All right. Next up, Heidenheim hosting Frankfurt. Heidenheim wins set at 3.85. Frankfurt wins set at 2.02. Line floater goes set at 2.5. In this game, I like Frankfurt and I also like the over 2.5 goals. Kind of like the over 2.5 goals a little bit more. Frankfurt, one of the teams in form, second in the Bundesliga. Very surprising. I thought that they would be in the top five, but sitting second at this point. Second highest scoring team in the Bundesliga, while Heidenheim is also allowing almost 2 goals a game. So we should see plenty goals in this game. Heidenheim being at home should also get on the score sheet after being shut out by Chelsea in midweek. So I like the over 2.5 a little bit more than Frankfurt, but I don't think Heidenheim has the horses to stop Frankfurt from getting the win here. Are you doing something?
Yeah, I'm going for the both teams to score. Frankfurt win this one. Yeah, that's Frankfurt win is also already a high up, but I'm confident that Heidenheim will score, like you said, and but Frankfurt will still win. So over 2.5, definitely. Um, I would go for that also.
All right. Now that wraps up the Bundesliga. Let's get to the Eredivisie. First game on the schedule. Breda hosting Almere City. Breda wins set at 1.98. Almere City wins set at 4.25. Line for the goal set at 2.5. Now I don't have a bet in this game. Let's just start with that. I still don't understand like why Breda is sitting 11th with like a -9 goal difference. But Almere City has a -14 goal difference. Doesn't even average half a goal a game, while Breda just over one. So this game will be pretty boring, and not risking my money on either of these teams. Are you doing something?
I think you can risk your money on Breda on this one. Yeah, I think Breda is still just a little bit better than Almere, and they're playing at home. Breda did a few, great things at home, good things at home, especially against I think it was Ajax. Yeah, against Ajax was it? And an important game for them, and this game is also important for them. So, sitting at 11th, Almere 17th. So, this 10-point difference, I think they want to bring it to a 13-point difference, just to stay away from the relegation zone. And at home, Almere City, not in good form the last 4, 5 games. So I would just go for a Breda win. I think Breda's gonna win this game.
Listen, it gun in my head. I'll probably take Breda, but listen, man, um, they're not as good as the standings would suggest. So, um,
No, I agree. I agree, but it's against Almere City, so
yeah, I know Almere City's worse. Like
uh,
we agree on that, but listen, Breda's not great. All right, let's get to the next game. Groningen hosting Willem II. Groningen wins set at 2.16. Willem II wins set at 3.8. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, I don't really have an argument to take Groningen in this game, but I will. Uh, they're playing at home, playing against Willem II. That is kind of sneaky on fire on the road. One loss in the last 5 games. Groningen is struggling, man. Really struggling for a win. They have one win since match day 2. Right now we're at match day 14, so do the math. Not really that much confidence in Groningen, but this is a game where you can pick up points playing against another team that got promoted this season. So that's one of the arguments. Other one, they're playing at home. Um, just going to take a leap of faith and take Groningen here. And if you look at how they played last season in the second division, um, now Groningen won on the road, at home it was a draw. Now, I guess Groningen is still a little bit better, so I'll go with Groningen here. Are you doing something?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think you have to go for Groningen here. Although Willem, too, like you said, away games, yeah, they're kind of sneaky, especially against AZ was a proof of that. So yeah, it won't be an easy game for Groningen. I agree, but I believe that they'll win this one. Groningen is also actually one of my best bets this weekend
Yeah, and
together with Leipzig and Leverkusen.
yeah, and the over 2.5 goals is set at 2.28, while the under is set at 1.63. So they're not expecting a lot of goals. So that also tells you something. Maybe a 1-0 win for the Groningen, or even a 1-1 draw, something like that. All right. Next up, Feyenoord hosting Fortuna. Feyenoord wins set at 1.22. Fortuna wins set at 13. Line for total goal set at 2.5. The over 2.5 still low value at 1.55. So not really have a play in this game. Feyenoord wins sitting at 1.22. And so we know Feyenoord's in a tough to beat at home. Should have a lot of confidence coming back from 3 down against City. So not really have a bet in this game. Are you doing something?
Yeah, no, maybe the over 3.5, or maybe try that because I think that's possible. But yeah, like you said, Feyenoord win. Yeah, not much value there. So yeah, I think I'm gonna skip this game also.
All right. Next up, PEC hosting Sparta. PEC wins set at 2.63. Sparta wins set at 2.8. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now Sparta obviously switched coaches 3 games ago. We haven't seen the new coach bump just yet because they've lost 3 straight games. Now they're on the road, which is not a good spot, but they're playing against not a team that's not great, to say the least. So that makes it a little bit better. But I did like what I saw in the last game against AZ from Sparta. They played a little bit better. Um, I actually think they were a little bit better than AZ in this game. Probably deserved at least a draw. So that seems like they're trending the right way, which is why I'm going to take Sparta in this game. Are you doing something here?
Yeah, I'm going for the over 2.5. Still a little, yeah, hesitating about Sparta, especially away games. So the over 2.5, I think that's a possibility, especially against Pek Zwolle. Pek Zwolle usually scores against Sparta, so yeah, I'm just going for the over 2.5.
Yeah, I would agree there. I don't think Sparta shutting out in back here. But like I said, I just like what I saw in the last game against Asad. Now that was at home. I'm not sure that travels on the road, so which is why I'm not making it a best bet. But uh, I have trust that what I saw in the last game will carry over into this game. They will play a little bit better and get the first win under the new coach. All right. Next up, Utrecht hosting PSV. Utrecht wins set at 6.4. PSV wins set at 1.53. Line for total goal set at 3.5. Now, listen, Utrecht, also a team in great form. One loss total on the season. That was against
Yes,
Feyenoord.
yes, yes, one loss. Yeah.
But in the game against Feyenoord, listen, they were also playing at home in that game. They kind of got exposed. Like they're beating up on these lower teams, but listen, when they play the bigger teams, they get exposed, and they just got flatly exposed in the game against Feyenoord. And Feyenoord's not as good as PSV. We could agree on that. So just have to take PSV in this game. Are you doing something?
Yeah, yeah, they're getting exposed these big games, but also the little games or yeah, the smaller games, yeah, no, against the smaller teams, they win, but no, not that impressive. So I'm I'm still going for a PFC win here. Um, yeah, I agree. I think Utrecht is going to be the second loss of the season.
All right. Now, next up, Twente hosting Go Ahead Eagles. Twente win set at 1.56. Go Ahead Eagles win set at 6. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, Twente were kind of rounding into form, but they got beat by Union, and not Union Belly, but Union from Belgium, which was pretty disappointing because Union is not doing that great in Belgium at the moment.
No,
No, so
but but usually Belgian teams win against the Dutch teams, especially the ones lower than the top three. So yeah, I won't say it's unexpected. The Belgian teams play more for a result, and yeah, Dutch teams, they want to play, great football. 4-3-3, but yeah, Belgian teams are not interested in that, so that's the problem they always have.
all right. Now, listen, Twente at home, one win in the last 5 games, 5-0 win against Heracles. But the other games, now aside from the Union game, they played some pretty tough opponents in Ajax, Lazio, and Fenerbahce. So go ahead, Eagles, not at that level. Still don't think it would be an easy game for Twente, so odds kind of too low for me to really back Twente here, but I still think they will win this game. Are you doing something?
Yeah, I'm another over 2.5 for me here. Yeah, so at 1.47, yeah, parlay it with another game. I would just go for the over two and a half.
1.74, you mean?
Yeah, 1.74. Yes, sorry, yes. Twente, they still have one of the top scorers in the Eredivisie, so I think he'll score again. So yeah, over 2.5.
All right. Next up, AZ hosting Heracles. AZ win set at 1.38. Heracles win set at 8.5. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Their over 2.5 is sitting at just 1.52. So they're kind of expecting the over 2.5. I'm just going to take AZ for a win here. Not that much difference between the over 2.5 and an AZ win. 1.38, 1.52. Not a big gap. So just going to take AZ for a win here. Also, a team that's been struggling at home the last few games, but they've played some tough opponents over the last 6 home games. Utrecht, PSV, Willem II and Go Ahead Eagles were not that tough, but they still lost that game. But Heracles still not better than AZ, so I just have to take AZ here. But really, odds maybe a little bit too low to just take assets straight up, maybe parlay it with another team. But that's the play for me. Are you doing something?
AZ, AZ had a really decent game against Galatasaray. That surprised me, I think. So yeah, I'm gonna skip this game actually. AZ is gonna win, sure, but yeah, just not really interesting for me. The odds.
Uh, All right, the next one is interesting, at least for me. NEC hosting Ajax. NEC wins set at 4.8. Ajax wins set at 1.75. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, I know NEC's been in good form over the last 5 games. 3 wins, 2 losses. If you go over the last six, 2 wins, 4 wins, 2 losses. So a little bit in form and at home, also in a little bit tough to beat. But I don't understand why we're getting this much value for Ajax. Ajax is really playing good football, really coming into to their Ajax form, I would say. And the game they lost against Sociedad was their first loss since 18th of August. Ajax a really good team. I don't understand why we're getting this much value. Give me Ajax at 1.75, one of my best bets for the weekend. Or are you doing something?
I think it's maybe because Ajax had a little bit, rough start of the season. NEC is in a little bit better form. Okay, lost against Utrecht, but at home, NEC is usually better. than they are on the road. So I would maybe think because Ajax played during the week and lost, had to travel. That I think that plays a role in the odd. But I still think Ajax is gonna win this one. And over 2.5, that's possible. NEC, I'll give NEC a goal also. So maybe both teams to score, Ajax win, or just go for Ajax win.
Yeah, I'm going for Ajax win. Might also look at the over 2.5 goals. I agree with you. NEC could get a goal here. And even if they don't, I think Ajax can score 3 goals in this game. So, um, over 2.5 or Ajax, but I really like Ajax to win this game. All right. Next up, now that wraps up the Eredivisie. Let's get to the Serie A first game. Como hosting Monza. Como wins set at 2.17. Monza wins set at 3.95. Line total goals set at 2.5. Now, last week I was on Como against Fiorentina. Yeah, I got burned on that one. But now back-to-back home games. They stay at home and host a Monza team that's below them in the standings. So that's a good start. And a Monza team that also has trouble scoring less than Como. So good spot for Como. Still don't not going heavy on this game because they're just awful, man. But I have a lean towards Como. Are you doing something here?
Yeah, I'll follow you on this one. Also a Como win for me. Yeah, not they're not that great, like you say, but I'm just going for a Como win here also.
All right. Next up, AC Milan hosting Empoli. AC Milan wins set at 1.35. Empoli wins set at 10. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, I don't understand why the odds for Empoli are like 10. I know AC Milan's really coming into form. They've played better over the past few games. But Empoli's been, if you go back to the start of the season, they've been playing some good defense at least. They had a bit of a rough stretch where they lost 3 out of 4 games, but that was against Lazio, against Napoli, and against Inter, three of the better teams in the Serie A. And the game against Lazio and Napoli were both close. And yeah, they got beat by Inter, but AC Milan doesn't have the talent that Inter has. So I think this game will be a lot closer than the odds suggest. So not really backing AC Milan here. Are you doing something here?
Yeah, yeah, I don't think it's profitable to back AC Milan. I would maybe look at the over 2.5 at 1.71. I think that's interesting, but I'm not backing AC Milan for a win. Also, yeah, no, no, I'm not that confident AC Milan is gonna win.
Yeah,
So
we
just
agree.
the over 2.5.
We agree on that. Let's get to the next game. Bologna hosting Venezia. Bologna wins set at 1.97. Venezia wins set at 4.25. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, this is a top 10 team. Bologna, they haven't always looked like a top 10 team over the course of the season, but they're playing the team that's just flat out last in the Serie A. So it should say enough. So don't understand why we're getting odds close to 2-1. Seems kind of fishy, but nonetheless, I'll take Bologna. They're playing at home, they're the better team. Venezia is dead last in the league. Are you doing something here?
Yeah, you can't look past Bologna in this game. Uh, okay, they have two straight losses. Yeah, okay, against Lille and Lazio, but against Venezia, I think they'll have to go for a win here. Venezia that last, so I think it's a chance for them. I don't understand the odds also, but yeah, why not? Uh, profit of it. So yeah, I'm going for a Bologna win.
All right, so we're both on Bologna. Next game, Udinese hosting Genoa. Udinese wins set at 1.95. Genoa win set at 4.4. The line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, this is a classic under 2.5 goals in this game. Won't see a lot of goals here. Udinese will defend. They're playing at home, which is a good spot for them, but they're not really in form. Four straight games without a win. Genoa one win in the last 5 games. And if you look at the goal scoring, only one game over the last 5 games, Genoa has scored more than once. They've been shut out twice. Udinese also not scoring a lot. They've scored twice. They scored over one goal in the last 5 games, but also twice over the last 7 games. So won't see a lot of goals here. Just take the under 2.5 goals. Or are you doing something?
If you look at the odds, Udinese seems to be the favorite. Yeah, but I don't think that represents the state of both teams. So I'm uh I'm actually not gonna bet this game. I'm just gonna skip it. 1-1 or 2-2. Yeah, I think that's more in it than a win for one of these two.
Yeah, I would agree there. I would agree there, but not on the 2-2. Can't see either of these teams scoring 2 goals, so maybe 1-1. I would
1-1
agree
then.
there. But also, I agree with you. If I were to advise, I would just say skip this game. Don't like taking the unders when the number is that low, 2.5. But listen, man, there's no other way you can go. So it's like either the under 2.5 goals or just nothing. All right. Next up, Parma hosting Lazio. Parma win set at 3.95. Lazio win set at 1.9. Line for Zorgo set at 2.5. Now, first couple of games on the season, I was kind of high on Parma. They beat AC Milan, really gave Napoli a run for their money. Also, some other games where they played some good football, a draw against Juventus. But listen, man, since the win against AC Milan, which was match day one, uh, no, sorry, that was match day two. They've only won one game. That was against Venezia, who's dead last in the league. A lot of draws sprinkled there in between. Well, Lazio is like one of the hottest teams in the Serie A, but they got a disappointing draw against Ludogorets in the Europa League. So, um, what are you doing here?
Yeah, still going for Lazio. They didn't have to travel. The game against Ludogorets, and yeah, I'll just say maybe they underestimated Ludogorets a little bit, and so yeah, I'm just going for a Lazio win. I think against Parma, that won't be an issue. So yeah, I'm just going for the Parma win, for the Lazio win.
Yeah, I agree with you. I also like the over 2.5 goals in this game. Probably take the over 2.5 rather than Lazio win. Maybe a Lazio loss is getting close, and then maybe an unlucky bounce or something. But I have to agree with you. Lazio is just the better team. Not traveling for their midweek matchup is an advantage. And although it was a disappointing 0-0 draw, they pretty much dominated that game. 62% ball possession, 6 shots on goal. While Ludogorets had zero shots on goal. So the 0-0 draw doesn't say everything. I agree with you. Lazio should still win this game. Parma, they don't seem like a good team. All right. Next up, Torino hosting Napoli. Torino wins set at 4.9. Napoli wins set at 1.84. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, the over 2.5 is set at 2.38, under 2.5 at 1.58. So they're kind of expecting the under. And I would have to agree there. Napoli has only allowed 9 goals on the season. And Torino, while they're averaging over a goal a game, if you look at them play, they really struggle to score goals. And against a team like Napoli, I don't see them scoring too much. Napoli bounced back with a win over Roma, another 1-0 win. and they have a lot of 1-0, some 2-0 wins on the season. I can see the same happening here. Not sure Torino scores in this game. They haven't scored in 3 out of the last 4 games. Last week a 1-1 draw against Monza, so it's pretty much Napoli. What are you doing here?
And yeah, Napoli win, and I think the odds are relatively high for the Napoli win. So yeah, you can't you can't ignore it. So I would just go for the Napoli win at 1.84. Yep, and even the over 2.5 is also interesting. So yeah, I would Napoli win here. Really interesting odds.
And then over 2.5 is interesting, but like I would say just stay away from the over 2.5 goals. Not that it's impossible, but highly unlikely. Not seeing Torino scoring in this game. And Napoli, Napoli's coach. They don't try to score too many goals. Like when they score more than 2 goals, it's really because the other team just can't defend. Napoli, they're pretty much 1 goal, 2 goals, shut it down at the back, get away with a win. So just give me Napoli for a win, not taking the over 2.5 goals. All right, next up, Fiorentina hosting Inter. Fiorentina wins set at 3.75. Inter wins set at 2.06. Line for third goal set at 2.5. Now, both of these teams are pretty much in form. Um, but listen, man, Inter, the talent gap is just too big to back Fiorentina in the spot, even though they're playing at home. Inter just the far better team, far better roster. You just have to take Inter in. And if you also look at the head-to-head matchup, Fiorentina has won 1 game against Inter since 2017. So that also says a lot. Give me Inter for a win here. Are you doing something?
I was expecting a little bit more from Inter against when they played against Leipzig in Champions League. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they were thinking about this game against Fiorentina also, but yeah, I'm not that confident as you are. So I'm actually leaning more towards Fiorentina, and only because they're playing at home. I think Inter, you know, they have to lose somewhere, and if it's a game that they can lose, I think it's away against Fiorentina, especially the form Fiorentina is at the moment. Okay, the last against Como and yeah, Pavos. Yeah, I don't count those two, but so at home against Inter, I don't know. It feels like a Fiorentina stunt game.
No, the point you made about Como and Papos is exactly the reason why I'm taking Inter. It seems like Fiorentina's in good form, but but they've been playing a bunch of jumps over the last like 10, 12 games. So I don't think the form really says where they are at the moment. Inter's just in a far better place, far better players, and I know that was on the road, but they lost against Apoel Nicosia. The other games they won, Hellas Verona, Torino, Genoa, Roma, who just fired their coach, St. Gallen, Lecce that can't score. So, listen, man, they don't really have impressive wins over their streak. So to say, it's not really a streak because they lost against Apoel Nicosia 4 games ago. But you get my point, right? They've been playing a bunch of jumps, and Inter's on a different level, man. They're not winning this game against Inter. Also, Inter knows this game means a lot because if Fiorentina were to win, they jump Inter in the standings. That's not happening. Give me Inter for a win.
Okay, we'll see. But it's an interesting game.
Yeah, yeah, we agree there. All right. Next up, Lecce hosting Juventus. Lecce wins set at 5.25. Juventus wins set at 1.77. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, Juventus kind of been struggling to say the least over the past and was it like 8 games? Just 2 wins against Torino and against Udinese. Two lowly teams, but Lecce is even worse than Torino and Udinese. And with the defense Juventus has, and the fact that Lecce can't score goals, 6 goals over 13 games, makes Juventus a pretty easy pick. Now, Juventus, kind of the same thing you touched on about Ajax. They played on the road in midweek, so kind of a short week. Now you go back on the road, tough spot. But you have to take Juventus here, and I don't understand why the odds are that high. I think they're being a little bit disrespected here against a team like Lecce, like against any, and maybe any other team. I probably get it, but Lecce can't score. Juventus doesn't want you to score, so all Juventus has to do is score 1 goal in this game, and they walk away with a win. So give me Juventus, one of my favorite bets. Are you doing something?
I agree. Against Milan and via Aston Villa, it was it was obvious that Juventus, it's not easy to score against them. So I think Lecce is gonna have to score if they want to win, or maybe even get a draw out of it. So I just think Juventus is gonna win this game. They have in the last what 5 times they played against the Lecce, so why not this one? So yeah, I'm just going for a Juve win.
All right. Next up, Roma hosting Atalanta. Roma wins set at 3.2. Atalanta wins set at 2.28. Line total goals set at 2.5. Now, both teams have an odd over 2-1, and it's a Monday game, which makes this your favorite game of the week, right, Sergio?
Okay. Yes, definitely. Yes.
Now, listen, Roma, obviously, new coach. We haven't really seen the results pay off, although a draw against Tottenham seems like a good start. Uh, let's say trending upwards. But listen, man, Atalanta, another team that's just on fire. They just keep scoring goals, tough to stop. So the over 2.5 goals is the play for me here, because Atalanta, if they don't win, they'll still score even once, at least once, maybe twice. So if Roma were to get anything out of this game, they would have to score probably more than once. So give me the over 2.5 goals. What are you doing here?
Monday is not one of my favorite days to place a bet, but I think Atalanta is the team to to actually get a win for me on a Monday in a long time. So so I think Atalanta's gonna win this game. Roma, no, it's not happening for them yet. Atalanta team in form. So yeah, they had a day longer to rest than the other teams that played during the week. So yeah, I would just go for the Atalanta win.
All right. I'm on the over 2.5. You like Atalanta, which I get. Roma struggling at the moment. All right. That wraps up Serie A. Let's get to the Premier League. First game, Brentford hosting Leicester City. Brentford wins set at 1.65. Leicester City wins set at 5.4. Line for total goals set at 3.5. Now, I'm looking at a double chance for Leicester City here because I expect like a bump, the new coach bump, also a team that fired their coach. Um, Kind of an odd hire, I would say, Van Nistelrooy.
Yeah, yeah, really. I don't understand it. Also, I was surprised to say the least, with Ruud van Nistelrooy. But who knows? Maybe it's a match made in heaven, but I have my doubts.
Yeah, and listen, man, he maybe because of the 3 games he coached at United and before Amori took over, I don't understand. Um, I'm not sure Leicester City's coach was doing a poor job. It's not like they have this a great roster. So like, what were you really expecting? Brentford, I know they're undefeated at home, but still, like I said, I expect a little bump, a new coach bump from Leicester City and Brentford. Undefeated at home, but it's not like the world beaters sitting at a zero goal difference. So that also says something, especially if you're undefeated at home. Um, so taking a double chance for Leicester City here. What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm not that confident in the new coach choose this game. Yeah, I'm gonna skip it. Actually, Brentford Leicester. Maybe it will have a little bit of a effect for Leicester, but maybe then just a draw. I don't think Ruud van Nistelrooy is gonna, want to lose his first game, so he'll maybe shut it down at the back or cement it. Um, I'm gonna skip this one. I think it will maybe just be a draw.
Which is why I'm taking a double chance on Leicester City. All right. Next up, Nottingham Forest hosting Ipswich Town. Forest wins set at 1.77. Ipswich wins set at 4.9. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Nottingham Forest, another one of my favorite bets for the weekend. 1.77. Just the value is too good to pass up against a team like Ipswich. Ipswich is just awful, man. I know they've yeah, they upset Tottenham in the last road game. Really was a fluke. Nottingham Forest has been one of the better teams in the Premier League. Now sitting at 7, they were in the top 5 in 2 weeks ago. Back-to-back losses. Now you get home against a team like Ipswich. Just pretty much an easy win for me. Give me Nottingham Forest. What are you doing?
Yeah, I agree. Nottingham Forest and maybe the over 2.5. Yeah, I think that's also good. But I agree. I'm going for the Nottingham Forest win also.
All right. Next up, Wolves hosting Bournemouth. Wolves wins set at 2.65. Bournemouth wins also since sits at 2.65. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now the odds, I pretty much agree with the odds here. All right. Now Bournemouth, not a great team on the road. Wolves, not a great team just in general, even though they've won back-to-back games against Southampton and Fulham. Still not convinced they've turned the table, so not really backing Wolves here. I pretty much don't have a bet in this game. Are you doing something?
No, I follow you on this one also. Wolves, Bournemouth. No, another draw maybe, but no, I'm skipping also.
All right, next up, Crystal Palace hosting Newcastle. Palace wins set at 3.3. Newcastle wins set at 2.23. A line for total goal set at 2.5. I usually don't like backing Newcastle United on the road, but coming off a very disappointing loss against West Ham United, um, makes me back Newcastle here. Actually, those things don't really go well. You lose at home, an embarrassing loss, then you go on the road. They usually don't win those games. But Crystal Palace, this man, I'm not sure about Crystal Palace. Actually, I'm pretty sure they're not good. They've scored 10 goals over 12 games, so have trouble scoring. Now, Newcastle doesn't really score that much, also, 13 goals over 12 games, but I do believe in the talent they have, especially up front, so they can score in this game. I'm taking Newcastle. Are you doing something?
With Crystal Palace's win against Tottenham and Aston Villa back to back, I thought that maybe they found something. Yeah, but it seems to have gone away again. So I agree. Newcastle, yeah, but still, I don't think there will be a lot of goals scored. Crystal Palace, they can defend pretty well. So, yeah, I'm maybe a Newcastle United win. I agree, but it won't be an easy game.
Yeah. Which is why I'm not making the best bet, but it's either Newcastle or nothing. I don't really trust either team, but like I said, I trust Newcastle's talent at least. At least they have the players, um, which you can believe in. Crystal Palace doesn't even have that. All right. Next up, West Ham hosting Arsenal. West Ham wins set at 7.5. Arsenal wins set at 1.46. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Not really sold on the West Ham win against Newcastle. Two two good wins over the last 5 games against United, but was it a good win? They fired their coach. Then a 2-0 win over Newcastle United. So not sold on West Ham, while Arsenal looks to have found their form again. Back-to-back wins, 3-0 over Nottingham Forest, good win, and a 5-1 win over Sporting, which was really impressive. I expected them to win that game, but not by this margin. Are you doing something here, Sergio?
Yeah, the over 2.5. That's as far as I want to go. Arsenal, like I said, yeah, they played during the week. So yeah, now away against West Ham, yeah, a derby. So yeah, West Ham won't make it too easy for them. So I'm just going for the over 2.5. Not that confident for the Arsenal win.
Yeah, I liked Arsenal in the spot, but like you said, the derby makes me say, all right, it won't be an easy win for Arsenal. I'm not sure they're winning this game. So I'm not really backing Arsenal for a win here. Um, Also not sure about the over 2.5, but I would rather play that. I agree with you. All right. Next up, Chelsea hosting Villa. Chelsea wins set at 1.73. Villa wins set at 4.8. Line for total goals set at 3.5. Now, not sure what's going on with Villa at the moment. Now, 6 straight games without a win. They haven't scored in 3 of those games. 2 of those, they've only scored 1 goal. So, really on Villa-like. But listen, man, if you look at the history, even though, even when they're struggling, they really give Chelsea trouble. Over the last 4 games, and this is not the last 4 games overall, the last 4 games at Stamford Bridge, Villa has won 3. The other one was a draw, so Chelsea hasn't won against Villa at home over the last 4 games. And even even better, Chelsea hasn't even scored against Villa over the last 4 home games for Chelsea. So that's crazy. Villa will have something cooking for this game, so not sure Chelsea wins this game. Or are you doing something here?
Yeah, I think those stats are gonna end this game. I think Chelsea is in a lot better form than they were back then. So I think I'm just going for the Chelsea win. Aston Villa, I think they maybe can just start looking at the next week, but at home Chelsea, yeah, with the stats you just gave proves that it's going to end this weekend.
I'm not sure that's proof it's going to end. I think Chelsea's the better team. They're playing at home. Like I said, overall, I think Chelsea's the better team. But Villa just has something like when they play these teams, they really get up for the games. And this is another game where I really think you can motivate the guys and um, try to make it tough on Chelsea. So I'm not sure Chelsea wins this game. They're favorite. I get it. They should be. They're in better form. They're the better team, but not sure the streak ends. Let me say that. All right. United hosting Everton. United wins set at 1.6. Everton wins set at 6.1. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, like I said, Ten got fired, probably deserved to get fired. He brought the players in that are playing right now. But I told you, I'm not sure the new coach will make that much of a difference. They need new players, and the game against Bodo was, for me at least, evidence of that. And also last week against Ipswich. They have a long way to go, so don't expect too much change too quickly. But against Everton is a good way to kick off your first win in the Premier League. But listen, man, I also thought that last week against Ipswich. At least you're playing at home right now against a team that has trouble scoring. They're scoring less than Ipswich, which makes it, it should be I wouldn't say an easy win. But they should win this game, right? Could we agree there?
Yeah. I think we can agree there. Against Bodo Glimt, I think they seemed a little bit vulnerable still. So I would go for the over 2.5 instead of Man United win. Um, Everton, I think they'll get a goal. I hope they'll get a goal also, but I think it's possible. Yeah, they haven't scored in the last three games. So yeah, I think a goal now against United is possible. So I would I'll just go for the over 2.5.
Yeah, they haven't scored in the last three, and they average less than a goal a game. So uh, I think they can get a goal here. Not sure they will. Just gonna take United for a win here. That would be my play here. All right. Next up, Tottenham hosting Fulham. Tottenham win set at 1.75. Fulham win set at 4.4. Line for zero goals set at 3.5. Now, Tottenham coming off at least last week, a 4-0 trashing of Manchester City, but then
Yeah,
they
that scares me this game
yeah,
because
but
because Tottenham is one of those teams that you think, oh man, they're on fire right now, and then it just it just leaves them like So yeah, I'm yeah, maybe Tottenham, but don't think it will be a game like they played against City.
But I think they already had their letdown spot against AS Roma, because that's a game they should have won, given the state Roma's in. So I believe they already had their letdown spot, while Fulham just got smashed by Wolves 4-1, and now they go on the road. So bad spot for Fulham. I'll still take Tottenham in this spot. They're the better team. They didn't have to travel for their midweek game, so kind of an advantage. So just give me Tottenham in this game. Which way you going?
Yeah, I agree. I will also go for Tottenham, but I'll uh, I'll close my eyes playing this bet.
All right, all right. I would agree there. I would agree there. All right, next up, Liverpool hosting City. Liverpool win set at 2.15. City win set at 3.45. Line total goal set at 3.5. City lost one. We said, all right, they're not losing back-to-back games. Then they lost back-to-back. I said, they're not losing three straight. Then they lost three straight. Then we said, they're surely not losing four straight, right? Then they lost
Yeah,
four straight. Then we said, all right, five straight. Nah, that's impossible. That's not happening. Then they lost five straight. And then they played against an Eredivisie team. Like Premier League supposed to be the best competition in Europe. You play against the Eredivisie
in the
team.
world.
Yeah, in the world. Then you play against an Eredivisie team that is not even PSV, all right? It's freaking Feyenoord. You're playing at home, you're up 3-0, and you just completely fold. I don't understand what's going on. And now you go on the road against
The best team at the moment.
yeah, at least surely the best team in the Premier League, and I want to say the best team in Europe at the moment.
At the moment, yes.
Yeah, and I don't think that's an overstatement. And Liverpool's a tough place to play either way. Now they're just in the best form possible. So, although it's unlikely for City to go 7 games without a win, you just can't go any other way than Liverpool at the moment. It's not like City's playing great football and you're like, all right, they're just getting unlucky. They really have issues at the moment, while Liverpool seems to be just rolling everybody. You just have to take Liverpool here, right?
Yeah, I agree. And also at Sunday at 5 p.m., I'm on the screen watching this game. I also think, or it looks like there will be a lot of goals scored this game. I can just feel it because City won't back down because they know that this is the game that they have to win. This game couldn't come at a more terrible moment for City. So I think Guardiola is still scratching his head. I don't think he has any more hair left now. So I'm uh, I'm going for the Liverpool win also, but it will be an amazing game. A lot of goals scored. I'm even looking at the over 3.5 here. So, but a Liverpool win, I'm gonna back you on this one.
All right. That wraps up the Premier League. Let's get to La Liga. Last but not least, first game, Barcelona hosting Las Palmas. Barcelona wins set at 1.15. Las Palmas wins set at 17. Line for total goals set at 3.5. Now, Barcelona, they were up 2-0 on Celta. They kind of gave that one away. I was on Barcelona last week. And listen, man, I'm not campaigning for any of the betting sites over there. But Bet365, they have something that's very intriguing, the early payout. If a team goes up 2-0, your ticket still cashes, even if they draw or lose or whatever. So that's something I really like. So my ticket cashed. Still was disappointed. It ended in a 2-2 draw. Um, Still win for me. I guess that's good. Now Barcelona hosting Las Palmas. Las Palmas win set at 17. Barcelona just 1.15, so not too much value in this game. Kind of skipping this game. Or are you doing something here?
Yeah, I agree. This is a game to skip, and Barcelona win over 3.5. I think it's a little bit too much. At 1.6, also too low. So yeah, skip.
All right. Next up, Alaves hosting Leganes. Alaves win set at 1.85. Leganes win set at 5.3. Lime Total set at 1.5. Listen, man, if you've been listening to the show, if you're new to the show, goals over 1.5, we don't like those games. Like these are just ugly games, and especially if the teams are this close to each other in the standings, and in terms of the goal difference. So I don't understand why Alaves is favored by that much. Just don't take the bait for this game. Just skip this game. Are you doing something, Sergio?
Yeah, I think it's just bait, try to lure you into going for Alaves if you look at the difference. But no, I'm like you said, I'm also skipping this game. I don't trust none of these two.
All right. Next up, Espanyol hosting Celta. Espanyol wins set at 3.3. Celta wins set at 2.23. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Now, I like the over 2.5 goals here. Celta has allowed 24 goals, Espanyol 26. So these teams they have some issues defending. Uh, Obviously, Celta's the better team. Going on the road kind of makes it a tough spot, but I still think Celta can win this game. Um, but I also like the over 2.5 goals here. What are you doing here, Sergio?
Uh, Celta, I was already looking at this game, and I think I'm just going for Celta. It's still a bigger risk. Over 2.5, I'm not looking at that. So a Celta win, 1 goal, 2 goals maybe, but no, I'm just going for a Celta win here.
All right. I agree with you there. Like I said, I also like the over 2.5 goals, but Celta's better. I know they're on the road, but Espanyol is just a bad team, man. And neither of them can defend, but at least Celta, you can count on Celta to score goals. So that's a big reason to back Celta in this game. All right, next up, Valladolid hosting Atletico Madrid. Valladolid wins set at 8. Atletico Madrid wins set at 1.43. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Now, the line for Atletico Madrid opened at like 1.7. It has come down all the way to like 1.43. So, a team that's obviously getting bet on heavily. And I understand why. Like, and I know this is kind of the same like Ajax and Juventus, a team that's they play it on the road in the Champions League in midweek, and now they go on the road again. But just like in Ajax and Juventus, they're playing a team that's pretty bad. Valladolid just dead last in the league. I don't see how they're winning this game. I don't even see how they're scoring in this game. Just give me Atletico Madrid for a win. What are you doing here?
Over 2.5 at 1.91 against Valladolid. I would, Atletico Madrid, we know that at 1, 2 goals, they just stop playing. But still against Valladolid, I think there's a little bit more in it for them. than just to go for a 1 or 2 goals. I think they'll see a possibility, to just score a little bit more. So I'm more interested in the over 2.5.
I can understand, like, if they roll, they really roll, like just like you saw against Sparta Prague, 6-0. But no, the game really has to go their way. Otherwise, it's what you said first. It's 1 goal or 2 goals, and they just maybe pack their bags and make sure the other team doesn't score. Keep it that way, get away with a win. So just gonna take Atletico Madrid for a win here.
Yeah.
All right, next up, Villarreal hosting Girona. Villarreal wins set at 1.89. Girona wins set at 4.2. Line for total goals set at 2.5. This is a game where I just have to take the over 2.5 goals. Girona, disappointing result midweek, losing to Sturm Graz. But if you look overall, these teams still they score goals. Villarreal scoring at a very high clip, third highest scoring team in the league. So I like the over 2.5 goals here because I don't think Girona will make it easy on Villarreal here, and Villarreal's defense is just that's it's something I can't trust. So I just have to take the over 2.5 goals here. Are you doing something?
Yeah, I'm going for a Villarreal win.
Which I
Over
also
2.5, yeah. Huh?
which I also understand.
Yeah, no, I'm going Villarreal at home. They're in good form. I would say, okay, the draw against Osasuna maybe was a little bit less, but still, Osasuna at home is a pretty good team. So yeah, I would just go for a Villarreal win here. I think it's the team that can really cause a lot of trouble for Girona, especially at home. So I'll go for a Villarreal win.
Yeah, I agree. I would agree there. Like I said, I like the over 2.5, but I can understand the Villarreal win. Villarreal, they've lost 2 home games, one against Atletico Madrid and one other one against Barcelona. And although Girona last year they had a great year, they're not even close to that level this year. So not even close to Atletico Madrid or Barcelona. So Villarreal should walk away with a win in this game. All right, next up, Real Madrid hosting Getafe. Real Madrid win set at 1.36. Getafe win set at 11. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Yeah, kind of disappointing, Real Madrid at the moment. Mbappe really
Yeah.
being, the critics but Real Madrid at home against Getafe it should be a win here. 1.36 low value. Not sure about the over 2.5, but they have something to prove. So
Yes. But it's disrespecting, isn't it? The over 2.5 against Getafe Real at home. Odds sitting at 2. Man, that is I think it's never been this terrible for Real at home against Getafe. So, but yeah, we'll see.
yeah,
But
but Real Madrid should win this game, right?
yeah. But over 2.5, I think that's all. They have something to prove, like you said. It's I don't think Ancelotti's job is at stake here, but he has to do something great against Getafe, and even Mbappe. The money he gets, man. I would,
Yeah, yeah, he has some trouble fitting in to the roster, really finding his role. Yeah, he's struggling to say the least, but this is a good game to score a goal, maybe two, uh, get some confidence. So I kind of agree with you. The over 2.5 goals sitting at two is a little bit disrespectful because Real Madrid could easily score 3, 4 goals in this game.
yeah, and they're still sitting second in the league, so it's not that they're not doing that bad of a job, but yeah, but still.
Yeah, I would agree there. All right, next up, Rayo hosting Athletic Bilbao. Rayo wins set at 2.95. Bilbao wins set at 2.7. Line for total goals set at 2.5. Bilbao kind of in good form. Although if you look at the games, it seems like they have some trouble pulling away in these games. A lot of close games. A lot of 2-1s, 1-0s, a couple draws and sprinkled in between. While Rayo at home, um, sneaky good. Gave Atletico Madrid some trouble. Also gave Barcelona some trouble. So uh, I understand the odds here. I also understand the total goals sitting at 2.5 and the over 2.5 is sitting at 2.48. Under is sitting at 1.54. So this is kind of a tough game to pick. I would say the under 2.5 goals in this game. Don't think we're seeing a lot of goals here. Are you doing something here?
Yeah, I think this is gonna be one of my biggest risks of the weekend. But I'm still going for a Bilbao win. Yeah, I think it's a high odd. Um, you know, that makes it risky, or riskier than the other ones. But yeah, I'm still going for a Bilbao win. I'll take the risk. Um, and Bilbao for me is still the better team. Like you said, draws and wins, but they haven't lost, the last 6 games. So maybe this will be, just be another win. So I'm going for a Bilbao win.
All right. I think you said it all. High risk, potentially high reward, but Rayo at home may be a tough out. All right. Next up, Real Sociedad hosting Betis. Sociedad wins set at 1.79. Betis wins set at 4.9. Line total goal set at 1.5, which I completely get again. I think this is a 1-0, maybe a 2-0 win for Sociedad. Betis not in great form, just awful at the moment. I told you last week they would lose against Valencia. You tried to talk me out of it. I'm glad I didn't listen. Um, just joking, man. But no, the game against Valencia was just a bad performance, and then you go on the road against, I hope I pronounced this right, Mlada Boleslav, and then you lose. So now coming and going on the road again against Sociedad. Sociedad's not been great this season, but the state Betis is in, and especially the road record just makes me I just have to take Sociedad here. Are you doing something?
Yeah, but Betis is still higher on the table than Sociedad. So it's
Ah,
two.
just the number
So
10 and number 9, like it's not that
yeah,
big of a gap. And both teams have a 0 and a goal difference, so that also says something.
yeah. Betis also, yeah. I was a little bit disappointed, especially the game against Valencia. I expected a lot more, but yeah, I agree with you. I'll go with Sociedad. The win against Ajax, it was at home. They played during the week, but it was at home. Betis, on the other hand, yeah, lost, and they were playing on the road. So yeah, it's seems like a Sociedad win. I agree.
All right. Next up, your favorite day of the week, Monday, Sevilla hosting Osasuna. Sevilla wins set at 2.16. Osasuna wins set at 3.6. Line for total goal set at 2.5. Um, I'm not really sure why Sevilla is a favorite in this game. Maybe the history, the name. I understand that Osasuna has been playing far better football over the course of this season. So I don't understand this line. I think Osasuna a little bit better. I understand they're on the road. Um, they haven't been great on the road. Only one win against Sociedad. A lot of bad losses, but I don't think Sevilla's great at all. And it's a Monday game, which just makes me want to skip this game. Are you doing something?
Yeah, I already have one Monday game, and I'm not gonna push it and add another one. So, but I agree with you. Osasuna should be the better team here. Okay, the loss against Real, yeah, but that can happen playing against Real at home. Yeah, but still, draw against Villarreal also not that bad. So yeah, still I would still go for Osasuna win, but it's Monday, so yeah, I'm gonna skip it.
All right. Now that wraps up La Liga and that wraps up all picks and leans for the upcoming weekend. And of course, we'll give you a quick recap for our best bets. I have Leverkusen for a win, Leipzig for a win, Nottingham Forest for a win, Tottenham for a win, United for a win. I'm gonna parlay Real Madrid with Atletico Madrid. I have Ajax for a win and Juventus for a win. Sergio, what do you have?
Yeah, I think this is gonna be a good weekend because we almost have the same teams as our best bets. I also have Leipzig, Leverkusen, Ajax, but then I have Twente over 2.5. I have Bologna, Lazio, Atletico over 2.5, Forest, and of course Liverpool. Yeah.
All right. Now that wraps up our best bets, and that wraps up all picks and leads for this weekend. Like we always say, guys, bet smart, bet with your head, set your limits, and stay within your means. Have a great weekend and look for a profitable weekend. All right.
Yes, profitable weekend. Amen to that.
All right. Until next week.
Good weekend, everybody.